And let's go ahead and take a look at the quotient rule. When you're working with the quotients, right, you have some function that's in your numerator. You have a second function that is in your denominator. And in this case, we're going to be taking the bottom, right, which is our denominator, times the derivative of the top, minus the top times the derivative of the bottom. And all of this is going to be over the bottom squared. Okay, and you'll see me kind of abbreviate this probably throughout the course as d dot bottom times derivative of the top minus t dob top times the derivative of the bottom all over the bottom squared. So let's go ahead and take a look at this function. We have k of x equals 5x squared over 4x plus 3. And we want to go ahead and find k prime of x using our quotient rule. Okay, so we're going to take our bottom function, which is 4x plus 3, keep it just like it is. Right, and then we need the derivative of the top. Well, the derivative of 5x squared, if we use the product rule there, or sorry, the power rule, we've got 2 times 5, which is 10, times x to the first power, minus, we have our top function, which is 5x squared, and then we want the derivative of the bottom. Right, derivative of 4x is going to be 4x to the 0th power. Keep in mind, x to the 0 is really just a 1. Right, so I'm just going to leave that as 4. And derivative of 3 is going to be, that's a constant, so that derivative is going to be 0. Right, thing is just going to be 5x squared times 4 for the second part of that numerator. And then over the bottom function squared. So this will be 4x plus 3, that whole thing squared. Right, and let's go ahead and simplify what we've got. I'm going to distribute on top. Right, and multiply this 10x times each of these terms. So 10x times 4x will give us 40x squared. 10x times 3 will be 30x. And then we are subtracting the 5x squared times the 4, which will be 20x squared. And I'm going to leave the denominator just like we see it. The 4x plus 3, that whole piece squared. And let's go ahead and combine like terms up there on top. Right, we have x squared terms that we can combine. 40 minus 20 is 20. X squared plus 30x all over 4x plus 3, that whole quantity squared. And we can go ahead and leave it like that. I know you can probably factor something out of the numerator there, but nothing's going to end up canceling in this case, so we'll just go ahead and call that our final answer.